Hey guys, welcome to Jen Lowry Writes. Today I'm on Twitch and YouTube because we are going to be talking author goals. We're talking about how do we plan, how do we reflect, and I would love to get as many authors in our community together to not only meet each other and build our community, but I know it's kind of odd doing it with the chat split. But I'm hoping everybody will meet me over on Twitch and we can hang out there. That's kind of like my hangout place. Um, so I wanted to ask people, how did they plan? What was it that they did? Hey, Salty Ghost, do you keep a calendar, Salty Ghost? Do you keep any kind of, hey, Tish, we're talking goal setting and calendars, and I wanted to go over today kind of what worked for me and what didn't, and then share out the template with everybody that I gave to you guys at the beginning of the month. So my WWJs had this at the very beginning of the month. They knew it was something I was going to try. Well, now it's here at the end, and I'm ready to go through this whole reflective weekend. I think reflection is like critical. It is key when we're working our author life, our creative artist life. It's always good to step away and say, okay, how is this working? And what's working? And how can I modify and change? Oh, yay! That's right. So excited for you, Salty Ghost. We will be praying for you, praying for the success for your team. I hope you guys do wonderfully. I know you will. Yay, yay. So good luck with everything. So calendars. How's your calendar been going, Tish? Have you been keeping one? I'm going to show my calendar. I'm going to do a share screen. Oh, is that an app on your phone? I love seeing resources. Someone today told me on Twitter that they love marking. Ah, your iPhone calendar. Didn't know it's called that. Fancy, Tish. I had someone on Twitter message me talking about how awesome it feels to be able to go in and do a checkbox and say that they have completed a task. Yeah. So when I was younger, I kept a calendar, and it was actually a weekly planner. And it was like with the spiral bound. We got it from like Kmart. And every year I would get one for school, and I would keep up with that. Even through college, I kept like a physical calendar. And so, oh yeah, see, you go back and do it. I love to listen to the different process, the way that people do calendars. When I started working, I kind of fell off of the whole calendar thing, which kind of put my life in a little bit of a disarray. Yeah, I quit. I used it religiously when I was in high school and college to keep me going because I would often overbook myself. I would have an issue with planning, over planning, and I ended up having to carry one around. So now with my digital world, and I do so much online, I created a Google type slides calendar that I tried for the month of June. I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm not saying that it's the best thing in the world, but it works for me. You guys might like it, you might not. Okay, I just shared it out, and I'm going to show you guys what I did. So I refuse to use the Google Calendar because I have to use a Google Calendar for my job. I did not want that for my author life too. I wanted something different. And I'm a visual person, and I like to capture images. So I wanted a place where I would be able to do, oh, it said request for access. I hit copy, Tish. It didn't work. Hold on. Anyone with the link can view. Copy link. Done. Let's try it again. This one's the July one. I sent you guys in the WWJs. Oh, you don't have your, let me see, what can I do? I'm going to go in and I'm going to save it. I'm going to download it as a PowerPoint. If you've got PowerPoint, Salty Ghost. Haven't used PowerPoint in so long because I use Google Drive. Here, I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if this is actually going to work, if I can drop and drag. Oh, it won't let me. I can't drop and drag. All right. Well, if you email me, Salty Ghost, I'm going to put my email up. If you email me, if you do want the calendar after I show it to you, just email me and I can send it to you. If you don't like it, don't feel like pressure, like, oh no, this is like, but this is something that I did and I loved it. So I want to share my screen. So this was my month for June. So my WWJs got this one. And this was just kind of the overview. And I added in a slide. Me and Tish talked about how much like I love this, looking forward to a positive month. So these were my notes, things that I wanted to continue to work on, that I started writing at the beginning. And then here's my book list. These are the books that I've read in June. I know it's not a lot of books, and I did count my children's books that I've read. So, but my research changed, and you guys know that I started doing in and out chapter reviews. So I'm kind of switched gears mid-month. You see all of my middle grades and children's books that I was reading. So I think it's really important that if you have a place just to talk about things you're looking forward to in the month, that was on this side, and then have a place to keep your book list. So I don't know if you guys do book lists or not, but I actually keep a Pinterest board that when I'm reading a book, I'll snapshot it. And this is really good for you guys to have an opportunity. Okay, Ann, good to see you, girl. I just shared out the new Google, my new Google Calendar. But I really think it's important that we keep up with book list. One, we'll read so much, we'll actually forget what we're reading. Two, for us authors out there who are blogging, Sally, you can take a screenshot of the book that you're reading, and then you can do book reviews. You can shout it out up on Instagram, put it up on Twitter. It can give you some great content. There's a lot of times when authors will reach out to me and say, what can I put on my blog? I'm really not writing a lot right now. Well, you're reading a lot, I guarantee it. And so talk about the books you love. Talk about things, you know, without giving spoiler alerts. But go out and do book reviews and review them on Goodreads. Get practice with that, because that will really help you in the long run. And I think it brings us like this good karma. Like we're reviewing and we're sharing books. So if you go to my Instagram right now, you can flip all the way down and you'll be able to see like the book list and the books that I've read. Now, when I'm doing this new research for my thriller, I'm not taking books, all these pictures. I am still housing the ones that I'm doing. I was talking to one of my friends the other day. And she was like, how are you keeping up with this 1 chapter, 2 chapter review? And I'm like, well, I'm not buying them. I'm getting them on Libby, and Libby keeps my history. So then I'll know which ones I want to go back and forth in and actually be able to pick up later. So that's a good thing to do. But I think it's great to be able to have a place to keep your actual book list. So that's pretty much me right now. And out of all of these books, I will say Lenny the Lightning Bug, The Last Lightning Bug, that's from our writer friend Allison. So that one's my favorite of the month, but I love the Spiderwick Chronicles. I can also tell you Wedgie and Gizmo made me laugh so much in a place when I really needed to laugh. And The Last Kids on Earth, I absolutely adored that book. I have not watched the Netflix series of it yet. I did convince my husband to watch it with me, even though it's animated, because I wanted to see it. I love that book. So I will tell you those were my favorite. And I did love Fangs a Lot by Tim Collins. I love that one so much I did a book review on it. So I do think we should be keeping our book list. I think it's important, but I do have it on Pinterest too. So here's how I kind of did my goals at the beginning of the month. This is me going back and reflecting. Now I can actually see some stuff that I was doing on June 1st, which was researching Twitch. Now I've been on Twitch for a month. I went ahead and upgraded so I could stream in 2 places. I canceled Zoom, which was a great decision for me because of those of you who don't know, you can go to your Google Calendars and you can actually schedule. Let's say you come in here, you can come in and add a Google Meet video conference right here inside your calendar, and you can invite people. And instead of paying for that service, you can go and use Google Meet. I didn't know if you guys knew that, but that one is so cool to be able to set that up. So yeah, I went ahead, decided the Zoom Pro wasn't needed at this time, but I did like StreamYard. So I had to pick and choose. I talk to my people all the time. I'm always like readjusting for my business plan, and I don't want to keep adding subscription services. So if I take one away, it's probably because I'm adding something else that can bring me more value. And so StreamYard, as you can see, is what I use to be able to stream on YouTube and Twitch. And I like doing both platforms off and on according to what the content is, because we're preparing for the conference, and I'll post the banners for the conference so you guys can see that the Eventbrite conference. You can go in and log in while I'm talking and register so you can get your free ticket and join us. Okay, so I knew I needed to do the Instagram page. Anne was the one that was like, in one of our brainstorming meetings, she was like, do you have an Instagram page? I'm like, okay, Anne, I got you. And I put it on my goal sheet. I researched writing sprints for the first time. Tish knows that for June. So you can kind of see all of the new things I wanted to do that first week. And I did my rewrites for Bad to the Bone, which was a huge feat for me because I went from a 2,000 word chapter book for early readers, kind of like a Magic Tree House with a vampire, a witch, the Frankenstein monster, but it's kind of like a Magic Tree House. I went from there to 24,000 words. So I did a huge, massive rewrite for Bad to the Bone. And look, this doesn't work for me. Y'all, I did not like this thing here. So I'm going to show you the rest of, look, it's pretty much blank. Like, this was the part of the planning that I did not need. I just needed this. I needed just a goal sheet for me to be able to write it down. But what days I was doing it on, no. So even though I built this, you would think, well, she built it, she would have used it perfectly. No, I did not. But this was sufficient for me. And I really like just being able to have a place to capture down what my goals were for that week. And then I could come here with a new slide, and I could put up pictures. I could put up images of things that I was doing. And so here's something that I'm holding. The reflection questions, I consider doing weekly reflections. And then I was like, well, I don't want to do weekly ones. I want to wait till the end of the month, and I want to take those last couple of days to actually go through these reflective questions and just to be able to journal and just to free write, which means I can take as many slides as I want. I can also take here and I can, just copy, then go back down to the bottom and actually just paste it in if I want. And then I'll be able to, continue to hit, then I can continue to hit the slides to duplicate. And I can continue with these reflection questions. But this is going to be fun for me because June has been a very powerful month for me. I'm going to call it a power month. And I know that I can't just say it's because I wrote my goals down that it made it so. And we had that vision board party for June, and I really wanted to take a stronger, initiative to crossing off these goals and getting them done. Here's what I mean by I think it was a power month for me. I honestly think it was because I had a place to write things down, that I actually recognized all the things that I do. And I kind of knew I did a lot, but I didn't quite capture it. And so I didn't really know everything I was doing. And I think that's where we lose sense of ourself in the busy. And then we lose an opportunity to say, oh, wow, good job, girl. Look at what you're doing. Because sometimes we can beat ourselves up and we can feel guilt. And we can say, well, we're not doing enough. If you write it down, you might really be surprised at what you are doing. And so I think for me, that's why June became my power month. It's because it allowed me to have this Google slide place that my little wonderland that I've created. And so I'm really going to encourage you guys to try this for July. Whether it doesn't have to be in the Google slide format, but just a place to document what's up in your writing life, or what's up with your projects, or what is it that you're doing. I just think it's really important because, one, we don't take care of ourselves enough, and two, we don't give ourselves enough credit. So I think it's about time we change that. And we can do that as a community. We can look out for each other. I would like for you to tell me what you think about your June month. What would you say it in one word? Because mine, I'm going to say it was like power. It was like a powerful month. What would be your word that you could describe June? I'd love for you to list it. So Anne had a productive month. Very good, Anne. It doesn't mean that we always have to have power months. Many months can feel chaotic. Many months can feel out of control. Many months can feel slow, restful. But this one, I feel like because I had a place to actually list my things, I was able to recognize, oh, wow. Oh, that's a good word, Tish. Look, Anne, Tish is spontaneous. I like it. Productive, spontaneous. Let me ask you, both of you, would you also say it was fun? Did you have a stressful month, or was it a fun month? Because I'm all about that fun. Yeah. Woo, that's it. That's meaning you're taking care of yourself. Ah, I love this. Yes, Anne. Anne is becoming more reflective, I believe, is a great word, Anne. I feel like, yes, and I love the connections. And that's what I hope that we will continue to do, is to continue to build and to grow. I'm going to go back. These reflection questions, I added a couple of them, Tish, down at the bottom from what we did before, but they're pretty much the same. And so my first celebrations is that I was starting to get followers, and I was helping my author friends out. I was promoting their work. So I felt very cool about it. I was like, oh my gosh, because guys, listen, I'm going to tell y'all, when I first started Twitch, the boys were doubtful. Like, they're gamers. Twitch is a gaming platform, really. It's really for gamers, artists, They were like, Mama, there's not going to be a lot of authors on here. And I'm like, well, you know what? You can build community anywhere. I am so happy, guys, that we have a place. The WWJs are hanging out. We get to talk to each other. We met Salty Ghost. Salty Ghost is getting on an airplane right now for the physics team. We need to pray for her. Like we've met Sally here. And I know that the Lord will continue to open doors. And just like with anything, it can be a slow build for me. The Lord does that. It's not like it goes viral overnight, but it's in small increments, but I'm having fun with it. And that's what this is about, right? When we set goals, it is to achieve something. It is to cross something off. It is to skill stack and have one thing that leads to the next thing because we want to break things down into chunks. But I'm telling you, for the good, for the long haul of this, I'm enjoying myself. And that's the sustainability. That's what's going to keep me showing up. That's what's going to keep me consistent. That's what's going to keep me wanting to do this. So if it's not fun and it gives yourself a foul taste in your mouth, you're not going to have a positive association with it. And everything that you think about that activity is going to start to drag you down. And that can include writing, that can include streaming, that can include making a YouTube video, putting up a post, or writing a blog, whatever it is. And so you don't want the foul, you want the fun. And so that's important for us to keep that fun going because that is the beauty of the mindset. That is the beauty of your mind. Well, when you feel it's fun and you know it's fun and it is fun, you'll keep doing it, right? And that's the way for writing. So, do I have to post in my Facebook group every day? Well, now we're talking about consistency. I do believe that if you are a leader of a group, you do need to be present in a group. Does that mean daily presence? No, it could mean 3 days a week. It could mean once a week. But I do believe that presence is key. I personally like to try to make a post, some kind of post in all of my channels at least once a day. And I will usually recycle those posts. I will, whatever it is that I'm putting up on Instagram, it's going to go to my Facebook groups. Whatever I put on Twitter, it's going to go to LinkedIn. And so I really do try my best to repurpose my material. And so you just know what's good for you, Anne, because if something starts to feel like a burden, then it's going to start to feel like the pressure is on and it's going to take away from the true intent of it. However, I do want to let you know, as leaders in a virtual platform, your presence is needed because you are trying your best to establish not only consistency, but establish community. And so if your leader is not communicative, is not present, is not bringing value, then the next thing might occur is people say, well, why am I here? Why did I join? And so that's something that you've got to be aware of if you do not hold some type of consistent schedule. But consistency doesn't necessarily have to mean every single day. It just needs to be your consistency. Me personally, it didn't take me no time to make a podcast today. I made a podcast talking about the calendar, why I love being on Twitch, so that way I could share the resources with people. I could put things in the comments for people to have. And, that took me just a minute. But then I was able to recycle it and share it out in different places. And then take the thumbnails I was using for all different places. So I try to do it in a strategic way so it doesn't seem like it takes up a lot of my time. I'm just like posting, boom, 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 and it goes. So then I moved to the June 7th week, and I was right with one chapter left with my edit rewrite. And then I knew I wanted a podcast. I knew I needed AuthorTube. I wanted to read at least 2 books that week. I wanted to do that book review. I went back and I added that I created Teespring because I forgot, and that I held a webinar that week. And so you can see there's a lot difference between this first week and this week. I even had a page 2. I decided to put bridges on sale. We did the vision board party, which I thought was a lot of fun. I did a newsletter. And then I wanted to start promoting my next webinar. Didn't use this mess, y'all. You can see. But I did say I finished Bad to the Bone on that Monday. So that day it was done. In my celebrations, I just added one of my Canva images where I was promoting Summer of Love sale when I put bridges for $1.99 for this summer. So I did actually put up one of the things that I made. You know me, I've got to have a visual, some type of vision board. So for the 14th and the 20th, it slowed down a little bit because guess what I started? The Sunday Killer. I made my cover. I started beta reading for my fantasy group. I read a book this week about exorcisms within the group. I'm learning more about plotting. I did some write-ins and I streamed. So you can see that this one was kind of slower because I was really focused in on the Sunday Killer. And then absolutely nothing on this board at all. And then I was like, Aunt Dot loves it, but my Aunt Dot loves everything that I write. I love having my beta reader Aunt Dot because she supports me. Y'all, I can't tell you. And so there's my Sunday Killer. I got my cover up there. Then I got a little busy the 21st through the 27th, which is tomorrow, which means I could still do some things. But this one was pretty busy. We had cover reveal week for Sweet Potato Jones. I shared it with my launch team and tried to encourage them to go out to Swoon Romance to their Facebook and Instagram and like and share off of the official publisher's page. Twitching. I was researching about plotting. You guys were with me when I signed up for NaNoWriMo and created Cabin in the Woods. I held my Self-Publishing 101 Q&A. I know Sally went to that one. I held it on Twitch, which I really like doing. I created a timeline for the book with Canva. I showed that out yesterday. Absolutely love that idea. It helped me tremendously wrap around the settings. Like I took pictures of all the crime scenes for the settings, and I love that because now I have them. And I haven't even written them yet. So I'm doing a lot of plotting. I also reviewed my analytics on YouTube and Twitch because I talk with my people all the time that we need to be aware of our analytics. We need to see what's happening on our pages. We're doing all of this work. We're being consistent, or we're putting out content. What's happening with that content? Is it being received? You know, is it getting out there? What can we do more to promote it? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been on Instagram and I've also been on Twitter and LinkedIn going daily, you know, hey, I'm here. I'm on Twitch. Here's my channel. How many of you do writers lifts and follows on Twitter and you don't put your links in there? Like, what is it that you want to promote this week? Is it your podcast? Is it your blog? Is it a YouTube video? Is it your Facebook group? If you, whatever it is that you want to promote, are you doing it consistently too? You can't just tell somebody one time, I've got a Twitch channel. You've got to say it, and you've got to post it, and you've got to link it. So that's something that I want to encourage you guys to do, is to pay attention to your analytics. And so I've seen a little bit of growth, and for me, I like little bits of growth because at least it's going in the right direction. And I like I say, I'm always, having these small circles of writing friends, small circles of writing communities, which is fine for me if that's what the Lord wants for me. If the Lord wants my channels to blow up and be in front of millions of people, the Lord will do that. If He wants me to be in front of 24 people, the Lord is doing that too. And so I am very happy about the results, because there are 24 more followers that I did not have at the beginning of this month. And I know you guys are going, wait, that's all you've got here on Twitch? Yes. And you see the smile. Oh, wait, let me stop screen. You see the smile on my face? That means that I've met 24 people here on Twitch that I would not have met. There's something about 24, and I'm not good with numbers, but I wrote it down in my capture sheet, in my slide, and it could change. Let me go and see before I call it out. But I've had 24 followers on Twitch this month, and this is no joke, guys. On YouTube, I have 24 new followers in the last 28 days. I'm on my channel analytics right now. So it's like, okay, I've had almost 2,000 views this month on YouTube. And you guys might be going, okay, well, I know this author and she gets blah, blah. And I know this author and he gets blah, blah. I don't compare myself with those other authors. I am so proud of them and how much they are getting, likes and followers. I'm happy with the 24 that decided to join my Jen Lowry Writes community. And so that brings me tremendous joy. So even though, if you say, well, Jen Lowry Writes versus other author platforms, they're way up here and Jen is way down here. I don't compare myself with those others. I compare myself with what I did the last month. And I know the reason why I gained followers, and it's because of that consistency. And so that's what I think is important. The more content that you put out, the more present you are, and the more that you can bring value to a community, your community can grow. And then once authors and creative artists find out that we just have a place to hang out and talk and just chill together and talk about writing every now and then and recipes and just relax and have a stress-free time, maybe we'll get more and more that will come and hang out with us. We'll see. But right now, that growth makes me happy. I find like, hooray, hooray. I was telling my husband, we were talking about the analytics yesterday, and I showed him the screen. And it's important for you to go look at those kind of things. You don't have to look at them daily like I do, but I do a round of analytics each day as a business practice. It's just something that I've done since I started Monarch Educational Services. It's almost like it's a part of my daily routine where I look at all of my author stats. I look at all of my, my audiobook sales, my paperback, my ebook sales. I go look at my expanded distribution. Then I go and I look at my analytics on Twitch and YouTube. Then I'm on Facebook and looking at all of that and updating things. It's just a part of what I do. I don't look at it as a burden. I don't look at it as something as time consuming, because I have it in such a routine way that I just cycle through it really fast. And so yesterday I was like, oh my gosh, honey, look at my channel analytics. And so I'm going to go so I can give you the accurate number. The stuff updates. So I've had 1.8 thousand views in the last 28 days, which is amazing. Because guys, I'm going to tell you what, if you go to a writing conference, or if you go to a speaking, if you're in a summit or if you're on a panel, you may have, sure, you could get big scale things, but think about it. You might have an audience of like 40 people right there in that room, and then you're on this panel with people. and then they may forget and not remember where to find you out in the world, and they saw you that one time. Well, if people find me on YouTube and they see that I have over 300 videos and that I'm, continuing to make content, maybe that'll be, oh, let's subscribe to her. Let's see what it is that she might put out next. Is it homeschool? Is it for education? Is it for her author life? Who knows which one the real time I'm getting, but I'm just happy that I'm getting, because that means that I'm present in someone's life. I'm in their home. I'm on their phone. They're watching YouTube on their TVs or on their computers. And it's a part of me meeting people. And with me being an introvert, it's a lot easier for me to communicate with writers and authors when we're in this kind of platform. I'm going to be honest. I did a tour last year. I was out and about. And if all of this wouldn't have hit, I would have probably been out and about again in 2020. But I would have continued to do this virtual life as well, because it's a part of my routine. And so I really noticed a big difference in June. That's why I'm kind of calling June my power month, because I noticed it, and it could be because I was writing it down and actually being more cognizant and making more attempts, and now starting to stream every day. We'll see. So I'm going to start my screen share again. So did nothing with that calendar. And so I got good response from my webinar. Sweet potato was well received. I have 2 ARC reviews that are coming in. I got a big bulk distribution order for Everyday Mom Challenge. Really excited about that. And then I put my followers down at the bottom. I started my t-shirt for Teespring. Absolutely love the designs. Can't wait to get it in the mail this week. I had to post Everyday Mom Challenge up here just because I got that bulk order this week. Super excited. One of my ARC reviews, this image is from my webinar that I did on Twitch. And here we go. Something that has really helped me this month is my Research, Connect, Contact, and the Courage to Do It All. And that is my 4 steps to my author life. And I have really been putting them into practice. So I can't wait to get to the weekend's reflections. And I'm going to be using these reflection questions. You guys can screenshot this, or you can take the copy of the doc and make sure that you can add to it. You can find more questions if you want to online. A lot of these reflective questions, they are adapted from my coaching life. They're adapted to meet our author world. So I really like this calendar, guys. And now I have my June calendar. This is mine for 2020. And I've just renamed it, because now I have July ready. And for this month, I made sure I added a new screen, goals to support my well-being, because I have been having some little health things that I do need to work on, blood pressure and stuff like that. And so I'm like, okay, how can I support my physical well-being? How can I help with all that? So I made sure I added a new slide in here. And then I just called this one my images slide. So I've shared this with you. What do you see missing? You see that in the June template, I actually had these weekly little boxes that I could type in. And then all you would have to do is find yourself a new text box and just insert a new text box and then pull it over, just like what I'm showing you now, but I didn't use it. So I was like, I'm not going to carry that template over into July, because it brought no value to my life. And it was just an extra page. And then I'm not going to feel guilty that I didn't do something, because I didn't need it. What I need for July 1st are my goals. And as you guys know, and I love, oh, this is the template. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy of the entire presentation, and this one is going to be Jen's July calendar. Okay. And now I already know what my goal is for, so now this is mine. I already know here that I'm going to put in, I'm starting Camp Nano. I like paprika. I don't know. There's something about that I like. So I changed it. I'm going to go in and I'm going to change it for you guys too. But I know July 1st is that. Oh, my niece is getting married. So I'm going to the wedding. Sorry, but I am listing that. And so I'm already starting to fill out my July calendar. Yeah, this is something I'm definitely going to use. I'm just not going to use this slide. Like, I'm going to keep it in here in the original June calendar for me, just to show, hey, you could start something. It might not necessarily work for you, but I actually found it to be a great place for me to store all of the things that I was doing. So I wanted to share it. So Anne is going to post an update on her group, and she's got her Facebook group. I can go and check it out. All my crochet people out there in the world. All right, Anne. Oh, I see it. Oh, you started making a blanket. So, have you YouTubed yourself making this blanket? Have you created a quick, look what I'm making? I want to see it. Anne knows how much I love seeing stuff. What I'm excited about is that I've already raised $40 for the Raleigh Rescue Mission. I picked that thing on Facebook where you can choose for your birthday for somebody to donate. And one of my friends donated $40 for my birthday to the Raleigh Rescue Mission for the homeless shelter here. I'm so excited. That made my day. And my birthday hasn't even come yet. Oh, yay. Oh, you did a demo? Good, Anne. Okay. Oh, that's right. Today's Friday, ain't it? Oh, forgot. I can't keep my days right. Okay, I'll see you guys in boot camp. But I've had a lot going on this week. You don't realize it until you write that stuff down. So I've really liked holding those goals and placing them somewhere and then going back and then being able to see them all. It's going to be a great reflection weekend. Had a lot of exciting things to happen. Finished up Bad to the Bone, then turned into a new adventure, a new writing adventure. I completely went in today, guys, and worked on it. I was telling Anne earlier, and I wanted to show something else too. So Anne, I don't know if you know about Google Books or not. So Anne was talking about a book called Elevator Pitch by Linwood Barclay. And this was a book that she had read the first chapter. And so do you see how you can get book previews? Because I'm doing this first chapter, second chapter review of a lot of the books you can get with the first looks on Amazon. Remember I told you guys it's like the look inside. And so Silence of the Lambs, I love the author's note for Silence of the Lambs. It's the 25th edition. So do you see how chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4, and it stops. I actually have this book, but you can get all the way up to chapter 4 with just a look inside. And if you're looking at how do books start off, and if we go back and we look at Save the Cat, if you look at that image for Save the Cat, how is the opening image? And then how's the theme stated? How's the setup between pages 1 through 10? And then what's the next one? Number 4, the inciting incident, the catalyst. So sometimes it says by page 12, you should be at the catalyst, which I really love. And so you can kind of see it here. I should have just showed you like this. But by the time you get here, the first pieces of this book, like, let me see if it tells how far we can get in chapter 4, like what page it is. It doesn't show, but it's a lot. And you're able to like break it up. You're able to kind of see it. And the more practice you do, the better you'll get at being able to research and analyze books. And what I love about, so the template, there is a website that shows you, like my husband's favorite movie is The Matrix. So this one breaks up The Matrix. But I want to show you this website. It's the Studio Binder. I think it was this one. Where was it? I found a website that actually breaks down like tons and tons of well-known movies, well-known books, and you can see them. But this whole 3-act structure, you can get a big chunk of this and research books to get a good handle on what's out there in your genre, just with the look insides and just with the book previews. So I didn't know if you guys knew, but if you go to like Google Books, so you can search inside Google Books. And so this one, the one that Anne was looking at, like I can go and read chapter 1, 2, 3, and that's pretty much all I'm going to get, and I stopped. However, if I'm doing this for research purposes, all I really want to look at is chapters 1 and 2 to start me off, so I can start looking for patterns. I'm trying to investigate the patterns. So I think that it's important for you guys to be able to try that strategy. It might not work for you, but when you're in Google Books, you can find tons of books, and you can go back. I've been doing Google Books for a long time, and you can get just tons of opportunities to check out books, because I've told y'all Libby is my thing. I love Libby. Libby is my library app, and if you do not have a public library card, it is extremely easy to get a library card. I would suggest that you call your public library, see what you need to bring in, see if they're taking, library cards over the phone right now virtually. Could you virtually talk with someone to get a card so they can see your face? But, oh, good, Anne. Good luck with your interview. Who are you interviewing today? But was this your rescheduled with Elizabeth Goddard? I think that was her name. But I've been doing that beginning chapter reviews, and that has been so cool. But I'm actually reading Paper Ghost right now. Paper Ghost doesn't allow you to do a look inside, but I absolutely love Paper Ghost. Here it is. Oh, there's the look inside of Paper Ghost. But I love this book. It is listed as women's crime fiction. women's psychological fiction, and it is about a serial killer. And she goes to the home that is keeping a patient with dementia who she believes killed her sister. And she believes that he is a serial killer. So it is a really unique book. It is different and it has my attention. And so I am a little further than the first 3 chapters. So let me see where I'm at. I am 22% in. So that lets you know where you should kind of be too. Because like if you're looking at that 3-beat structure, how does that break apart? Like, has there been an inciting incident yet? Yes. Has there been a catalyst? Yes. And so I can actually go into Act 1 and say that Act 1 has pretty much been cleared up with the pages that I've read so far in Paper Ghost. And it's following that structure. And it's just these beats are common. You just may not recognize them if you're not analyzing for them, if you're not looking for them. You just might say, hey, that's a good story. But I want to encourage you to be able to talk books in a way where you say, hey, that is a good story because. And this can really help you when you're breaking down books, when you're having a book club, when you're writing. I'm using it for research for my writing, but I really love the Paper Ghost one. Then I've got some new ones, like You Will Be Mine. That one just came open. Sharp Objects came open by Gillian Flynn. She wrote Gone Girl. I read Gone Girl this week. And then there were 6 books that I did reviews on just by going in and reviewing the first 1 and 2 chapters, and I quickly let them back into the library shelves. I remember one summer I went to the public library and I stood in front of the shelves and I would pull as many books as I could carry home with me, take them up to the counter, and I would go home and I would read them. And I love that summer of exploration. I did that one summer with short story collections. I love reading short stories. I love anthology books. That's where I read The Yellow Wallpaper and Shirley Jackson. I love short stories. And so I will tell you that one summer I did a lot of that kind of reading. This summer, it's new. It's a whole new approach to reading books. But it is bringing so much to my attention that I did not notice before. So I want to thank Alexa Dawn for making those Thriller Beats videos and for making kind of me step outside of my comfort zone, because my comfort zone is to be a pantser. And that's just my personal way that I've always approached a novel. Now that I'm actually plotting this and researching at the same time, it's like transforming the way that I'm approaching this adult thriller. Now, I'm not saying I'm getting this adult thriller right. I am saying I'm having fun with it, and that's what counts. And I really need this, guys. I need this writing time for my mental health. This is just my writing is one of the ways that I cope, and I need it. So I'm excited about trying all of these new things. And I'm taking a lot of chances with this book. And I'm really liking the way it's shaping up and forming. And the kids are all excited. My husband will talk with me through this one because my husband's not talking sweet romance with me. Okay. That's not his genre. He did read the Hartwell Chronicles Teenage Exorcist. He read my Exorcist book and he loved it because he does like horror. But he's not going to read my sweet romances. That's okay. Books are not for everybody. But for this one, he's talking it with me. He's talking out this crime thriller because this is his stuff. So we have a common interest when it comes to documentaries and cold case files and all of this. So this is hopefully going to be a good one. It may never get published. It may never make it to the light of day. It will have to go through very challenging beta reader processes with my cop friends. Well, we'll see. But and I have tons of friends who actually love reading books on true crime, on crime, watch documentaries on serial killers. And so I do have a body of friends that can help me in this author journey with this new book. So it's not that I'm going to be short of the beta readers. I just might fall short in actually pulling this thing off. And if I do, then I can say, hey, I had some fun practicing some new strategies. So I've been doing that. And I've been doing this Comic Sans thing too. I've done that in the past. It works for me. Just turning your font into Comic Sans. I tend to write faster. I don't know why. It's just something in my brain. I'm sure there's videos on why people find this to be more productive for them, but it really works for me. And so I had to go back in today and make sure that I set up something completely different in the book. Because when I did the timeline yesterday and I realized that the settings were different, it wasn't going to be an obvious pattern. So this is like completely new for me. So thankful to the person on Twitter that mentioned timelines, because that gave me a new perspective and it helped me look at the whole setup of the book. So the setup changed. So I had to fix it. So that's what I was doing this morning. And I thought about streaming it. I thought about streaming while I was setting it up. But I wanted to hang out a little bit downstairs with my husband. So I was writing, listening to YouTube, and had him right near me at his little office space. And so that's what I was doing this morning. But guys, it has been an hour. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really love this new calendar thing. And I hope that you like it. I hope that you find it to be productive for you. I'm glad that Anne had a productive month. We had a spontaneous month from Tish, but they were both having fun. And I think that that is what truly matters when it comes down to the end of the day. Did you have fun with the work that you did? It's not about how much you do. As you could see, some weeks were busier than others, but it's at the end of the day, feeling that sense of accomplishment that the steps that you did take are leading you in a new direction or in the right direction, or they're keeping you going. So I want to encourage you not to give up, to keep working goals, to keep setting them, include your friends in your goals. You can see my friends were on here. We were talking goals, and they know we talk goals on Saturdays, what you got going for the week. I check in with my writing group, and I'm like, do you guys want anything? Do you need any support? What is it that you need? And so I think it's important that you stay present within your writing communities. And if you haven't found a writing community yet, you're here with me, Jen Lowry Writes. We count. So do you. So I thank you for everything, and I'm getting off of here, and I hope that you have a great weekend. It is my birthday weekend. I am getting to go to the gun range, really excited about that. So I've got a lot of stuff planned this weekend. I don't know how much writing I'm going to get to going. Tish, I'm going to see you guys in boot camp, but tomorrow I am not going to be streaming at 3 o'clock. So I just wanted to let everybody know that 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to be having some family fun time and enjoying my Saturday away from the computer screen. So I am taking a me day for myself with the kids and Eli. So I will see you guys later, and I love y'all, and I'll talk to you another time.